This is how I'm trying to be in 2022. This is how I'm trying to be in 2022. This is how I'm trying to be in 2022. Hello, my loves! Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be filming today. I just got back from Florida like 2 days ago, and I can't even explain to you, like, it was so lovely to see my family, but like coming back here, like the day that I landed, I left my bags in my apartment and then I just like walked around the city. It was like nighttime and I just roamed around for like 2 hours and I just felt so grateful. I think that traveling really, especially if like you live in a new place, like you've moved abroad, traveling away from like your new home can really remind you of how far you've come and the life that you've built in the new place and just the choice to have moved abroad basically. And I just felt so grateful for my life here. And you know, even if it's like a simple life, like I live in like this small chambre de bonne, but it's my dream life, you know. Like I just realized that this year I've really built something. I've really followed my dreams farther than I ever thought that I could, and yeah, it just made me reflect on that. So speaking of reflection, today is New Year's Eve and I actually wasn't planning on filming a video this week because, like I said, I just came in from Florida. I've been traveling a lot and just like, yeah, I thought that I was gonna be too tired, but I really didn't want to end the year without reflecting on this last year and talking about like new goals that I have this year. My friend's coming over later today and we're gonna have a funeral for 2021. I think it's really fun to have like these sort of rituals. I think in life it's really important to create these sort of rituals and create novelty around like sort of the everyday thing. For example, like having a morning routine or, you know, taking yourself out on special dates. I think that making life, any like opportunity to make life fun for yourself is really important, because I think that is essentially what makes life beautiful. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned, for example, in 2021 is that you're not going to be happier when you achieve a certain goal. Like you're not going to be, you know, you might be for a minute, but then you're sort of like back to where you were. And so really trying to find the happiness and the joy and like the magic in like the little tiny things of everyday life, like, you know, your morning coffee, or, you know, say for example, every week you take yourself out on like a little artist date, like a little arts and crafts date, or, you know, when you set goals, having certain rewards for yourself. Like I have my little gold stars, you know. I would also encourage you guys to create little traditions for yourself. And this year was fucking crazy, you guys. Like I was going through like my 2021 review, which I did completely on my Patreon podcast. I go like way deeper into that just because I didn't have time to do like the 2021 review and like talk about big goals on my YouTube channel, but I do dive into that on my Patreon, so if you're interested in that. But I was going through like all of the things that happened this year, and there were so many highs and lows. For example, you know, being disappointed in personal relationships that I've had. You know, I've talked about on my channel like my struggles with my divorce, as well as a lot of professional growth. This is like the best year for me professionally. This is like the best year professionally for me that I've ever had, and I'm so grateful with like my art business, as well as like releasing my book, and just letting myself start new creative endeavors. For example, music, trying out curating, you know, also just like finishing my master's degree. A lot of big things happened this year, but it definitely was a lot of ups and downs, and I feel like there was a lot of growth this year. So I do want to talk about one other really huge lesson that I learned this year, particularly in the last few months, And it's all about how to keep yourself in a zen state no matter what happens to you. This was one really huge growth thing that I had this year, because I think that sometimes we can be so affected by external situations and things that we can't control, but what we can control is our internal thermometer, I guess, for a lack of a better word. I talked a lot on this channel about how stress doesn't resonate with me anymore, and I'm not gonna let myself get stressed out by things that I can't control. And once I said that, I swear you guys, like so much shit hit the fan, because I feel like when I said that, it was almost like a challenge. It was like, I said it out loud, stress doesn't resonate with me, and the universe was like, okay bitch, stress doesn't resonate with you, let's see. For example, in the last couple weeks when I was going to the US, they wouldn't let me on my connecting flight in Germany because they just made it that rule that day that not only did you have to have your vaccination but also the COVID test. So here I was in Germany, there was no flights available. I was like late at night, I didn't know where I was, like I didn't have like my phone service, and so that was like a really huge obstacle, and I felt stressed in that moment. And you know what? And then I looked at my situation and I was like, fuck this, I'm not gonna be stressed. Like, this is an opportunity for me to rise to the occasion. And there's this really beautiful quote that I love that I'm gonna share with you guys because it has helped me through so much stuff. And this quote, you say, whenever bad things happen, say this to yourself: since things are always working out for me, there must be value in this. Since things are always working out for me, there must be value in this. So I've had like a couple things like that recently, and even like my return flight back, they canceled. Like there was just so much extra stress that I think usually would have stressed me out. But it was an opportunity for me to be like, okay, this is a sort of a challenge for me to meditate around staying zen in any sort of situation, and not letting external factors affect my spirit, you know what I mean? Because there's always going to be something, there's always going to be some shit. But if we can really just like focus on being happy with the simple joyful things, like, okay, I missed my flight, in the grand scheme of things, like, sure, it sucks, but in the grand scheme of things, like, does it really matter? And also, it's an adventure for me to go on. Okay, now I gotta find a hotel. Whew, super fun adventure. Now I gotta go talk to the guy at the airport desk and get a new ticket. Now I gotta go to the grocery store and get some food and talk in this new language I wasn't planning to do, like all these things. And that night that I missed my flight ended up being like a really great night. Like I got like this little hotel with a hot tub, not a hot tub, a bathtub. So yeah, those are just a few big lessons that I've learned in 2021. Okay, so now that we've talked about 2021 a little bit, I want to talk about 2022, big goals. I feel such good energy about this year, and I think that it's going to be so transformative, and I really want to this year help guide you guys. Like, I've been thinking about like, what is my purpose on this channel, and I really want to be like a big sister to you guys, or maybe like a little sister. I don't know who's watching this. But I feel like we all have a purpose in life, and I want to help you guys, and yeah, whatever way that I can. So I really hope to guide you guys through this year as well, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, I want to make this video because I think that it's really important to like say your goals out loud and to share them with others, because the more that you share them with others, the more you can be supported and uplifted, whether that's like writing in a journal, or you know, just telling your best friend, having like a little, like I'm having tonight, like a little ceremony for 2021, and getting specific. So that's what I'm gonna do. And also I really think it's fun to look back on these. So I've divided these into categories: career, like philanthropy, fitness, money goals, friendship, attitude. So let's get into it. So for career, one of my big goals this year is to work on another book. I don't know if it'll be released this year. I really hope so. But I have another book that is in the works. I've mentioned it a little bit here and there. But it's not going to be a poetry book. It's going to be something completely different. But I'm really excited about it. I was talking about like how I don't like to work on like too many different things at once, because I think that like you can like really spread yourself too thin. But I have kind of figured out how it's going to work this year thanks to my calendar system. So for those of you guys who don't know, I write out a calendar, like I hand draw it for each month and I put it on my wall, and it really helps me to visualize like the whole year. If you guys don't know, I released my first book April of 2021, and that was like one of the biggest things that I did, one of my biggest accomplishments, and I'm so excited to like put out new stuff, write new things. So that is one of my big career goals. Next is to do 2 art residencies this year, and I'm super excited because I'm already for sure doing one in Iceland in June. I just got the email saying that they accepted me. You guys, I have to tell you this. You don't even know how many things I've applied to since I have graduated with my master's degree in fine art in June. I honestly thought that like it wasn't going to be this competitive, but I swear to you, like I think that like since I'm talking about grants, scholarships, art residencies, like abroad, those kind of things. I want to say this because nobody talks about it, but since I have graduated, I've applied to around 15 different things. And I've gotten 2 out of 15. So I just wanted to share that because I think that oftentimes when we apply to things and we get rejected, we can take it really bad. But I think that that is actually like a pretty good ratio, considering that, you know, it's a big competition out there, like, you know, and you obviously can't do everything. So I look at it as whatever I'm accepted to, that's what I'm supposed to do. And I'm super excited to go to Iceland in June. I've never been there before, and I think that doing art residencies is a great way of meeting other artists, and also like a way of mindfully traveling. Like I don't like just staying in a place for like a couple days and not really getting to know the people there, and so that's really exciting. So I want to do 2. Along with that, I want to continue to create original artwork and sell my original artwork. Another really big goal that I had around like my art and my career for 2021 was to start selling art prints, and I finally got up the courage to start doing that in the beginning of last year in 2021. And I was so surprised by how well that it worked, and it really helped me to sort of like make that transition to full-time artist, along with like selling original artwork. And of course, like a lot of the people that buy my prints are from my YouTube channel, so thank you guys so much if you've ever bought a print from me, because it really is like a big part of my revenue now, my like revenue stream. So that is like a really big deal for me, and so I definitely want to keep doing that, expanding that in different ways, continue making, like pushing myself, experimenting with my painting practice. I have a lot of big ideas around like paintings and things like that that I want to do. So I want to spend more time in my studio. One thing that really took up a lot of my time this year was my first curating endeavor that I did in November. A lot of you guys actually flew in to see the show, which is so exciting. But it did take up a lot of time, so I think that I'm gonna like pause the curating until like at least like March-ish, so I can really focus on my own work. So yeah, I want to keep creating art, experimenting. And then the last really big career goal that I have this year is to release my music. So if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I am working on my EP. It's taken longer than I thought it would, just because honestly, like I didn't know the process. Like I didn't know, you know, when you're working with another producer, you have like a lot of back and forths, as well as like I have other projects on the side that I'm working on. So we've completed 2 songs, but I really want to finish all of the EP before I start releasing them. I'm making like music videos. Like your girl is going hard in the paint with this project, and that is another really big lesson I learned this year, is like, don't be afraid to try out new projects and to expand. Like, some of my songs are even in French, and it was the first time that I collaborated with a producer before, and it's been such an amazing experience. So yeah, I really want to release my music, like hopefully around like springtime. That would be ideal. So that's like my career goals. I would love to hear from you guys as well if you're creatives. Like, one big career goal that you have. I think that that is another really great way that we can support each other and lift each other up, is and maybe even connect in the comments. Like, say you're an illustrator and you want to put out like a book, or you want to collaborate with people. Well, maybe there's somebody working on a book themselves and they could use an illustrator. Like, you never know. So yeah. So the next category that I'm really excited about and I connect to is around friendship. So I realized that oftentimes in my own life, you know, especially as a foreigner, like, friends come and go quite often, especially like expat friends, because they're only here for a period of time. And I really want to cultivate like strong sisterhood and, you know, especially like friendships with other creatives who like I can collaborate with. And I started doing that at the end of 2021, especially like when I curated that show. I got to get closer to a lot of artists that I really love and whose work and whose spirit really resonate with me. But one of the really big goals that I have around friendship this year is to start hosting dinner parties at my apartment. So as you guys know, my apartment is like so small. Like, this is like it, you know. But I really realized that like, even if my apartment's small, like I can still like create like this little cozy vibe, and like have like 2 people over, like maybe like once a week or once every 2 weeks, and have like really mindful discussions and chats about our life, and just make that like something that I do once or twice a week. Like, I think that that would be really wonderful. Or just like have like little journaling slumber parties or things like that. I think as well, as you get older, there's this like tendency to like focus more on like dating and things like that, but I'd rather just like pour all of my love and my connection to my friends, you know, because those are the people that are going to be there. And this year I feel like I have like 2021 like really gone through sort of a weeding out of certain friendships that aren't working for me anymore, just because as we grow, sometimes certain friendships can't grow with us, you know. And I had to be like really honest with myself about certain friendships that, you know, maybe felt toxic to me, or like I didn't feel good around those people. So yeah, I really want to find and connect to people who like are more spiritual, who really believe in like the power of positivity. And I feel like that can be sort of difficult to find, because it takes a lot of work to cultivate that sort of energy. And so I really hope to find that this year, and to create like fun events for the friends that I do have, like fun things that we can do together, fun rituals. Yeah, I think it's so important to have like good female friendships in your life. So on the topic of yearly goals, I want to give a quick shout out to today's video sponsor, which is Lingoda. If you guys don't know, Lingoda is an online language school with classes in English, Spanish, German, French, just to name a few. They offer small group classes, and you really get the option to practice the vocabulary that you want to learn, because the classes that they have are very specific. For example, you could do like an art class in French, or you could do, you know, like philosophy. It just depends on your interests, and I think that what is really cool about it is how tailor-made it is to your interests, so that it keeps you wanting to learn the language and not losing interest. Another thing that we love about Lingoda is that it's super affordable, and they're actually offering, like I said, their sprint this month. So you have 2 choices with the sprint. You can do this super sprint, which is taking 30 classes a month for 2 months in a row, and if you complete all the classes, you get 100% cashback refund, or you could do the regular sprint, which is 15 classes a month for 2 months in a row, and if you complete that, you get a 50% cashback refund. So I think that's a really good deal. You do have to pay a 49 € deposit because places are limited, but they gave us a code. If you use this code, you get 20 € off that deposit. So the classes start February 11th and you have until February 1st to sign up. So if one of your goals is to get fluent in a new language in the new year, I would highly recommend their sprint to see fast results. And thank you to Lingoda. Let's get back into the video. Okay, I feel like this video is getting really long, so I'm just gonna sort of like breeze through the rest of these. Okay, my next goal is around like fitness, because here's the thing. I used to be really into doing adult ballet. I did tap as well, and I did like this class, this French in French, which was like abs and butt, and that kicked my ass. And those were so fun. But when the pandemic hit, they like canceled all the classes, or like they were really unreliable. And so what I used to do is I would do like an abonnement, like where you pay like once a year, and because I was a student it was really cheap, and I just like, I think it was like 100 a year to do like all these classes, and it was amazing. However, if they canceled them, you really didn't get your money back, and so I stopped going to those, and like I just did like this hot yoga, and I only really went like once a week, which honestly isn't enough of like a workout. I mean, I'm fit because I'm tall and like I walk around a lot, but also I think it's important, especially as I'm getting older, to have like a fitness routine, just because I think like endorphins for one, like why not get those like good endorphins in, and also like it's fun to have like that routine, that activity. I would really like love to try out boxing or like some different sort of dance. I've looked into like ClassPass, so maybe I'll like try that, where you can do like a bunch of different classes. I want to keep doing yoga because I just feel like for my mental health it's been really good. But yeah, just having like a regular fitness routine, and just like as well meditating. I've talked about like my struggles with meditating before, because I just didn't really get it, like how you're just like, I can't just sit there and not do anything. But I think like anything can really be a meditation. You know, like painting can be a meditation. It's just like time with yourself when you're focusing on like one thing, or you're not letting like external factors, for example your phone, get in the way. I really want to totally cut out like all Netflix and like, you know, scrolling on my phone sort of aimlessly. Like I think that obviously like that's not good for me, so I want to like instill like a good morning routine that I stick with. And something that goes along with that is just like really taking time to slow down. You know what I mean? I feel like so often in our lives we are just like so preoccupied with like the next obstacle, the next big goal, but in reality like it's the small things. It's the, you know, cup of coffee that you have in the morning, it's the view out your window, it's, you know, that walk to the grocery store that you do, it's, you know, that little bouquet of flowers that you pick out every Sunday. Like those are the things that are really make up a life, you know. So that's some goals that I have around those. The next thing that I want to mention is attitude. So I really truly believe that having a morning routine where you write out affirmations is what makes the difference in my attitude. You know, like things that I write out in the morning like are setting me up for like the rest of the day. You know what I mean? Like for example, I write out like, I don't know if you can see that, lean towards the positive, or today will be amazing. Like I set the intention every day, and if I forget to do those, like I see such a big difference in my attitude. And so I really want to go through the world as if everyone loves me and wants the best for me. I want to go through the world seeing like the glass half full, or why not fucking all the way full? You know what I mean? For example, I came home from my trip from Florida, and I walked in the door and I was like, what the hell, Shayna? I left my apartment like in sort of a mess before I left, albeit I was busy before I left. But I looked around and I was like, is this how you would treat like somebody that you would invite over your house? You know what I mean? Like, and my mom had actually sent me home with some of my grandma who had passed away, some of her like china. I couldn't take all of it home, so I just like took home like one little saucer with a little teacup, and I was putting it away, and I was like, wow, like this is such beautiful china, and it's so like special. And this like thought popped into my head, and it was like, treat yourself like fine china. Like, why don't you treat yourself that nicely? You know what I mean? And so that night I cleaned my entire apartment. I don't know if you can tell, but like up there I put up like little letters that I'd received from some of you guys. I just like really did like a deep clean, and I felt like so good after. And I was like, that's how you need to treat yourself all the time. Like, you personally, like, I'm a free spirit, I'm creative, but sometimes I can like sort of lack in the mothering department for myself. Like, I don't mother myself that good. Like, I sort of neglect like simple things like doing the dishes or things like that, and that's not how I'm trying to live in 2022. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes like in 2021 I would just like fucking not wash my face for days, or like just wear the same outfit for 3 days in a row just because I didn't feel good, so I just wouldn't make an effort. But like, hell no, let's be cute in 2022. Like, let's make an effort, and not for other people but for ourselves. Like, don't we, like, this is like my New Year's look. I'm going for an all white angel New Year's look, and it's like super cute, and it didn't take that long to do. Like, it's not a lot of effort. So like, treat yourself as you would treat a child. And like, also seeing, my sister had a baby like a couple years ago, and I got to go back and see her, my niece. She's so cute. But seeing how they treated her, you know, like, she's just like this special being that they elevate, and she's this like amazing angel baby, and that's how we should treat ourselves. You know what I mean? Okay, all right. Okay, so I want to talk about this YouTube channel. I am not somebody that likes to set numbers goals, because I just don't like see the point. Like, it doesn't make a difference to me whether I have 260,000 subscribers or 500,000 subscribers. You know what I mean? What matters is having like a real connection with your community, and feeling like, yeah, like some people can have like 1 million subscribers, but they don't have like that intimate, vulnerable connection, and that is what's really important to me. So my goals are really to deepen our connection, and also deepen what I can give to you guys. You know what I mean? Like, what I can help you with spiritually, from like lessons I've learned on my journey, whether that's like following your dreams or moving to another country. Like, on one of my last videos, I had a comment from somebody that said that, you know, they've had a really bad day, but my videos help them. Or, you know, I actually inspired them to move to Berlin and follow their dreams. And like, that to me is my purpose, is to inspire you guys to take the road less traveled by. So my goals around my YouTube channel is to really find like my groove with that, because I do have like a lot of different interests, whether that's like, you know, speaking French, because obviously I live in Paris, like Paris vlogs, but also like art and creativity. And like, I have a lot of different interests. Like, I think it can be hard sometimes to like find your groove, and you know, I don't want to limit myself, but also I want to be of service to you guys. And even if it's just like being a friend that you can count on every Tuesday, you know what I mean? Like, I want to really just expand that and feel good about what I'm posting, and really feel like it resonates with me and you guys as well, and that you can continue to feel my spirit. And yeah, that's like the only real concrete goal that I have around my YouTube channel. I just want to create content that feels right, you know, just feels right. And then as far as like Patreon goes, I have goals around that. Again, not numbers goals, but things that we can do as a community. For example, I really wanted us to start doing apartment swaps, because I think that what's different about that community is like the people that have been there, like I've had conversations with, and like you really do start building bonds when you have like meetups with these people. And yeah, like it's a really great way to like deepen the connection that I start on YouTube and take it to another level. And so yeah, we talked about like doing apartment swaps, and sort of like switching lives for like a week or something like that. Like there's people that live all over the world that are over there, like from Amsterdam to Paris to the US, and so that was something that there was a big interest in as well. I want to keep doing like meetups and going deeper on the podcast, etc. So that is the goal that I have with that. So I just want to say like thank you to all my patrons, because having that community has really just brought me, especially like during some of my darker times this year, has brought me a sense of friendship that I never expected, and I'm so grateful for it. Okay, next I want to talk about monetary goals. You know, when you do something like I do, even though it's so creatively fulfilling, you really do have to have like multiple different revenue streams. I think I have like 6 different revenue streams, like from my book to my art prints to my original art to YouTube to sponsorships. And so that if anything sort of depletes or, you know, is less steady that month, you have other things to rely upon. And so it was really important for me in 2021 to get more specific about that, to create more revenue streams so that I could continue doing what I love. And I started looking at money as less of this scary thing and more of a tool. And so I do have some goals around that. One of the big goals that I have this year for 2022 is to start looking into maybe buying my first apartment, or at least like saving more towards that. I have to like go to the bank and like see what's possible. I don't know, because like I'd have to get like loans out. The reason why I was starting to think about that this year is because, you know, as much as I love this little apartment, it does feel kind of cramped at times, and I don't have like my own toilet, you know, and I just was looking at actually like maybe renting a bigger apartment, but when I was looking at rent prices, I was thinking like maybe I could get a mortgage on an actual apartment and pay almost like the same in rent. And so I like started doing the calculations and figuring that out. And so I'm going to see with like my banker to see if that's even like a possibility. But that's, if it's not this year, like hopefully in the near future, like one of my biggest goals is to have an apartment in Paris that is my own. Even if it's like the tiniest little chambre de bonne, I don't care. Like I just want to have like a place that is mine. Like there's something about that that I think is so just like, I don't know, like deeply rooted in me, just to have like my own little sacred space. And yeah, if I stay in this apartment another year, I'm totally fine with that. Like I'm so grateful to live here, and I think that that'll be really interesting as well to share on my channel. Like just like all the obstacles of trying to become a homeowner, or a chambre de bonne owner in Paris, and just like everything that goes along with that. Apartment hunting, like I think that could be super interesting, because I know that it's, you know, in France everything is a little more difficult, I'd say, like paperwork wise. So that's definitely something that I'm looking into. Not sure if it'll happen this year, but I'll definitely keep you guys posted. And then the last big thing that has to happen this year, it just has to happen this year because I've been working towards it this last few months, is becoming French, you guys. This is the year that I'm gonna become French. I've qualified for a couple of years now, but it's just like so much paperwork. They want your parents' birth certificates, they want, you know, your last 3 years of taxes. So like there's so many obstacles to that, and also on top of that, every document has to be less than 3 months for most like French documents. And so for example, if you get one document but another document's taking a while, well then you have to reorder the other document. So I'm really working towards becoming French this year. I've lived in Paris for almost like 8 years. I say 8 years, I'm rounding up, but like it's been 7.5 years, 8 years if you count the year that I was no pair. And so I really do feel French. I have put down my roots here. I've done 5 years of schooling here. You know, I really integrated in the culture. Like I have a lot of French friends. I started my business here, my career here, and I just love this country. And so I feel ready to become French, and I can't wait to share that journey with you guys, because I'm sure that as everything in France, it's gonna have its obstacles as well. So that's a huge goal for me this year, and if I can do that, then I would just be over the moon. Okay, so it is a beautiful day outside, you guys, and I think that it's a lovely way to end 2021, because typically in December in Paris it's quite gray. So I'm gonna go out. I'm going to do my yearly tradition, which is go to the photo booths and take in the metro and take a 4-part picture. This is the one from last year, and I think that it was very representative of last year, because like it was like masks all the time. And I think I'm gonna go, yeah, I'm gonna go in like my little New Year's outfit, my little Angels New Year's outfit, because this is how I'm trying to be in 2022. I'm trying to really lean into the adult that I want to be in this world, which is like fun, chic, professional, like artist, you know what I mean? And so I want to take a picture in an outfit that I like. And yeah, after filming this video, talking to you guys who I love so much. So I want to thank you guys for an amazing year, because you guys really helped me through it, through the comments, I mean, I've really gotten more vulnerable this year than I ever have on this channel, and it wasn't without feeling rewarded by your guys' love, and it wasn't for nothing is what I'll say. Like I definitely felt like it was totally worth it to share with you guys and to get deeper and closer. So thank you guys for being my friends for another year. Like I can't thank you enough for being there for me. I love you so much, and I feel so grateful to be a part of your journey. And let's fuck it up in 2022. Like let's go deeper, go more towards our goals than we ever have. Like let's be that girl, you know what I mean? Or boy, maybe you're a boy. Like let's be the person that we want to be, and to treat ourselves like fine china, you know? So yeah, I love you guys so much. I'm gonna go out. Maybe I will, like in the exit of this video, film a little bit of our in the credits, I'll film a little bit of our funeral that I'm doing with my friend for 2021. But if not, if you made it to the end, write in the comments like big things for 2022 for us. I love you, and I'll see you guys in 2022. Bye.